And if you want to laugh, go and laugh.
You're a
Just
little
stop.
man.
Don't
Okay.
stop the recording. Just grab this shit.
Okay, I'm getting ready to begin. Okay, I'm a 62-year-old woman who is retired from state employment after having worked in law enforcement for over 20 years. In regard to my professional goals, I believe I have achieved all that I've set out to do. I began my adult professional career in the United States Navy as a radioman. After my military stint, I applied to and was accepted by the California Highway Patrol into their police academy. After 6 intense months of police training, I graduated and was assigned to an office in Los Angeles, California. Upon arriving for my assignment in Los Angeles, I was assigned a training officer who I was to train with for 45 days. At the end of my 45-day training period, I was given my own patrol car and assigned a 2-mile beat on the Harbor Freeway. As a woman and a minority, I had additional challenges to overcome in what historically had been a man's career. This was also an experimental program to see if women could successfully be enrolled in the California Highway Patrol Academy and complete. And from the academy, how successful we'd be in the field. The admittance and retention of all the female officers hinged on the success of my class, so a lot rested on the shoulders of myself and 5 other women. Upon my arrival at my duty station, oddly enough, I was the only female officer at the station, and suffice to say, there was no locker room for me. And unlike my male counterparts, I had to change my clothes inside of the female restroom. During briefing, and being the only woman and black as well, other officers were not very friendly towards me. I was told by several of my fellow officers that if I needed backup, none of them would respond, and my response to them was, okay. Then there was the filthy jokes they would recite in front of me, but I had a fix for that one. I just told dirtier jokes to make sure everyone heard me. As for the backup, apparently that was said just to rattle me, and as the first time I called for backup, too many of my fellow officers showed up. After a few months of being on the job, I just became one of the guys, probably because I did not cry and complain to our sergeant. I found the job to be rewarding as well as challenging and was able to do my job just like any other officer. I remained with the California Highway Patrol for slightly under a year after having graduated from the academy. From there, I transferred to the Medical Board of California to become a medical board investigator, where I remained for 22 years until I retired in 1999. I used everything I had learned from my time in the Navy, everything I learned in basic training with the Navy I could apply to my academy training because the CHP Academy was quasi-military. And just like boot camp or basic training, we had physical training, technical training, and classroom training. We were also given strong doses of discipline, which was all applicable to the police academy. As a young single mother with a small child, working for the California Highway Patrol was very stressful since the hours were not regular. One of my cousins came from Pittsburgh to help me because if she hadn't, my only other alternative was to have my baby live with my ex-husband, his dad. So suffice to say, my cousin coming to stay with me was a real help. Although I loved working out in the field, making contact with people, the hours were horrible, and so I had to make a very difficult decision to leave. The experiences I had working with the CHP were invaluable, and I still keep them with me today. I come from Dayton, Ohio, and I'm a child of the 50s, where Jim Crow still exists in some states. I marched for freedom and equality along with thousands of others just like me. And from that, I have come so far in terms of personal growth. In addition to that, I was able to escape Dayton, Ohio. That's supposed to be a joke. Now I find myself here at Columbia College in Missouri in pursuit of my Bachelor of Arts degree, which will complete the final chapter of my life. Thank you.
You said his ex-husband's wife.